Rampage.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Bastion of Twilight. This is a successful kill of the first boss, Halfus Wyrmbreaker. I've put this one on normal speed so you can see the fight as normal with a successful execution. I've also left vent on, and I have left the sound on so you can hear some of the voice acting, of which there is a little bit. Righto, ladies and gents, you've seen the setup from the Wipeathon 3000. It's not particularly difficult. You've got 2 tanks, you have 2 healers, and 6 DPS. This can be considered the quick guide if you just need something for reference, as opposed to Wipeathon, which is a learning aid.
We'll have your head, all of them!
This fight has the Slate Dragon, so you've got to be a little bit concerned about that, and the fact, of course, that you do get that very unpleasant paralyze attack that he has going on there. So nuke the dragon as much as humanly possible. Ignore the main boss for the time being, although by the looks of it your mirror images won't, because they are dumb. Needless to say, any damage is good damage on him, but you do want the dragon down, because once the dragon is down, the boss is going to take a damage debuff, which means you can deal more damage to him, and you're not going to have to deal with this nonsense, which is the paralyze. Watch out for the switch over right here. With the Slate Dragon up, you're going to have to switch between 2 tanks, because you get this stacking healing debuff called Malevolent Strikes that is actually put on by the boss, and not by the dragon, but the Malevolent Strikes ability is given to the boss by the dragon, and it doesn't go away. Of course, watch out for the fireballs when you can, but you're not going to be able to dodge them most of the time. They are too fast, and also you get this AoE flame breath every now and again. It doesn't do a huge amount of damage, but it is a complete pain in the ass. Spell pushback, as you might notice, can be avoided by the use of concentration aura and by using anti-pushback talents. In this case, as the mage, I'm using Burning Soul, the first tier fire talent, which I would recommend to basically everyone here, and you can obviously see why that is. Okay, Slate Dragon is down, so you can get a little bit more damage on Wyrmbreaker. What you want to do now is get your tank to start dragging Wyrmbreaker over to the cage. Now, the cage at the side has some whelps in it. Bear in mind that in your variation, you might not end up getting the whelps. You could potentially get a second Drake, so this fight does change around. With the whelps, you're just going to have to drop as much AoE on them as possible. They do have a raid-wide debuff, which reduces all incoming damage by 2,000 or so. It's not very nice. In this case, we just drop everything we've got on them. We use a couple of Rings of Frost, although that's really not necessary. They don't tend to move around a lot, so you'd have to aim that quite carefully. It's nice to reduce the incoming damage on the tank a little bit. If you can drag them through the Ring of Frost, that's going to freeze them. Drop some Blizzards in the middle, just any area of effect you happen to have. If you happen to be playing a Fire Mage and you do have the Impact talent, then you might want to use it to spread things like Combustion, as well as, of course, your Ignites and your Living Bomb to as many targets as possible for the most effective AoE. Drop a Blast Wave in there when you can. I wouldn't bother